everybody.
Hello.
Hello. I'm happy, everybody. Hi, please. We're here. That's okay. I wanted to introduce you, but they showed up first. This is Van Hitapia. I'm very excited and happy to be here introducing and having this amazing show with my dear friends. They are actors slash singers slash songwriters. And again, this is actor slash. It's a community, say it, to support actors who create their own opportunities. And this today is not the exception. So now that I have all of them, we just need Natasha to show up. There she is. Look at these guys. Like, thank you so much for, let's just have everybody there. Look at these talented, beautiful, amazing friends. So again, today is a special day because we are going to be, some of them are going to be singing live. And some of them are songwriters and they composed even their own music. As you can see, we have some guitars ready there. And I know, and so excited. So we have Joanne, I've never asked, where are you from?
I am from the Great Northwest, Portland, Oregon.
Portland, Oregon. So we're keeping on the west. So Joanne Coleman is right there. She's going to be our first participant singing. Then we have, we'd say we're going to keep it in alphabetical order. So then we have Lena Yi. She is a Taiwanese American friend who I had the honor to work with before, traveling all over the US, promoting this amazing country. And Lena, where are you? There she is. She's waving at you so you guys can see it. And then we have Natasha Perez. She's also a Venezuelan slash American now. We all are Americans now, right?
Yeah.
And and she's, and we can't hear you. You are muted. But that's what she's like. That's fine. That's cool. And she's also ready. She's sharing, making sure all her friends can see us. So she's reposting this. And then Shannon Doe. Shannon Doe, she's another friend who also I had the pleasure to work with, traveling and promoting this amazing country. So Lena and I, actually, I don't know if Shannon, if you know this, but Lena does. Actor slash was an idea that I came up with traveling for Brand USA.
Very cool.
That was the idea. Like because we were actors slash writers, we were writing our own scripts. We were kind of helping with the production. We were slashers, camera holders, microphone holders. We were looking after one another and making sure we all look good. And it was amazing. I miss those days a lot.
I do too.
Right?
Yeah.
So we're going to start with Joanne. We decided for anyone who's watching this, make sure you click on actor slash so you can watch us from the fan page only so we can read your comments and see where are you connected and any messages that you want to say. I see already Jesly Contreras. I can see he's from Venezuela because his flag is totally Venezuelan. He says, "Woohoo, Natasha! Hola Silva, hola todos." That's so cool. She's my dear Mexican fellow actor, Paola. She's from Mexico, but she lives here in Hollywood. Denise, Adaid, Lena. You see, everybody's rooting for everybody. Then we have Denise Adaili. So we have more people. So please write down on your comments on actor slash, where are you logging in from? Where are you watching us from? And place your questions so we can follow you and try to address as many as we can. So as I said, we're going to start with Joanne, who who is an amazing actor slash dancer, choreographer, model, and of course, singer. And we're going to talk about her career a little after she sings. But this lady, she at the beginning of the year, she was just totally touring with Disney, and it was amazing. She came back from a long trip from Hong Kong, I believe. So she'll tell us all about it. What are you gonna sing? What is it? What we're gonna be showing, screening for them?
Do we have those two videos, right, Bonge?
Yeah, we're gonna do the long one, the one with vertical,
Ah, okay.
the 2 minute
So
one.
great. So the reason I'm not singing live is that my computer is very old, and it we did a test and it's distorting my voice a little bit. So I'm going to share with you a song that I recorded during quarantine. It's very special to me. It's called Shadowland, and it's from The Lion King, and it's also very relevant to what's going on in the world today.
That's very cool. So I have a question. Um, Actually, I have a request for the other ladies. I need you all to mute your mics, and you can stay there, but just mute your mic so we don't interrupt the transmission when I share her video. And gosh, I'm very excited because it's very pretty what she's sharing for us. Um, so did you ever perform for the Lion King? Or it's
I
just
haven't had the pleasure of doing The Lion King yet. Yet, I say, because live theater is coming back.
yeah, that's something that we really want to see. We can't wait to see that. Okay, so here it is, Joanne singing. So we're gonna share this. Let's just quickly pause it and put everything right here. And hold on a second. So this was just an audition, as you said. Was it for I can't I don't seem to
Oh,
get
this
it.
particular video was just, I put it together during the quarantine just to put a beautiful song out.
Okay, so this is taking a little, hold on, let me just stop right here. Okay, let's stop the sharing for a moment while we do this. While I get it and retrieve it, okay, it's right there. It just took some time. Remember, guys, we are in Zoom and it's taking us a little longer to do anything.
It's live. We love it.
Okay, so I can see it right now. It's right there. So now we can share. So it's okay to be in our couch, on our bedroom, or anything. So everybody mute yourselves and let's just hide and watch our beautiful guest, Joanne Coleman. This is her. Shadowland, the leaves have fallen. This shadowland, this was a home. The river's dry, the ground All right, that was beautiful.
Ah,
Very well done.
thank
Very
you
well
so
done.
much.
That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much, Joan. Yeah. Everybody else, Natasha, Shannon, are you there? Did you watch? Did you listen? Wasn't it great?
Absolutely. That was beautiful. You're beautiful.
She's beautiful.
Look
My
at these
goodness.
ladies.
She's gonna share with us what she's doing in Disney. I mean, she has these amazing pictures that she sent. Like I think that was like the Lady and the Frog, or what was the name of that movie? Or you were just playing different characters in Disney, right?
I was what I like to call a park and bark. So I was Joanne, singing as Joanne for Disney, not as a character. So yeah.
That's amazing. Oh my God, that's amazing. Okay, so we're going to talk about that in just a moment. So, Lena, are you ready?
Well, as I'm ready as I can be, I guess.
What are you going to sing?
I'm gonna sing a song I wrote called Butterfly, and this is a song. I'll talk more about it later, but it's about love and longing and sort of the uncertainty. It's a very vulnerable song. All my songs are like that. So I'm gonna do this live for you guys, and so here I am. If I were a butterfly, I'd fly into your hand and stay for eternity till I rest in peace. There's nothing for you out anymore. The chase is done. I belong to you. If I were the dark one, would you come for me and keep guard over me till the storm clears? There's nothing for you out there, isn't it? The chase is done. You belong to me. Butterfly, butterfly. She's changed for you. Butterfly, butterfly. She's changing you. If I were your savior, would you call my name and let the child in you take the lead? There's nothing for us out there, you see. The chase is done. We belong to each other. A butterfly, butterfly. She's changed for you. Butterfly, butterfly. She's changed If I were a butterfly, catch me when you can.
Woo! Bravo!
Thank you.
Lena, you wrote that. That's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
And it's amazing that I admire you so much, ladies, that you know um, how to play instruments and do this composing and all that. Gosh, that's amazing. Bravo. And I can see all people, all the comments. Later on, we will address all your comments, but keep them coming, please. Again, this has been shared several times, these videos, this live. So please make sure you're watching from Actor Slash so we can read your comments and we can answer your questions. Okay, so our next singer, composer, is gonna be Natasha Perez. Natasha, you're muted. Not
Yeah.
anymore. So what are you gonna sing for us?
I'm gonna sing a song I wrote. This song was initially wrote in Spanish, and I wrote it when Facebook started. And last year, we had TikTok and we have Instagram and Snapchat, and I was going crazy. And I'm like, oh my God, so many social media outlets that I started reworking the song. And now the song is called Social Media. And the fact that we are in social media right now and that during the pandemic is pretty much the only thing that we do, like being in the computer on Zoom and everything, it seemed very apropos. So that's what I'm sharing with you. It's called Social Media. But one thing that's important, because knowing people, they are going to call, so I'm gonna turn that off. Oh no, once again, I'm on Facebook. Maybe finally Charlie will accept my request. 3:30 in the morning, and I am liking babies and puppies, watching Instagram live. I don't sleep 'cause I'm posting all the time in social media. It's a rabbit hole that sucks me dry. I don't sleep 'cause I'm posting all the time in social media. It's a rabbit hole that sucks me dry. Oh no, once again, I'm on Netflix, binging shows when I shouldn't, even really bad ones. 5:30 in the morning, and I am trolling actors on Twitter from the shows I just watched. I don't sleep 'cause I'm posting all the time in social media. It's a rabbit hole that sucks me dry. I don't sleep 'cause I'm posting all the time in social media. It's a rabbit hole that sucks me dry. I'm so sleep deprived that I can function. This technology, this function with a friends without a lover. Let me follow Donna Glover. I don't sleep because I'm posting all the time in social media. It's a rabbit hole that sucks me dry. I don't sleep because I'm posting all the time in social media. It's a rabbit hole that sucks me till I realize it's been 6 hours that I've been looking down on my cell phone.
Oh my God. I guess everybody can relate with that song. It's so like I know a couple, maybe me. Gosh, that's so accurate right now. Speaking of social media, please follow us, all of us. Actor Slash, Lena Yi,
I love how the
Natasha
ladies
Perez. Isn't that amazing,
present
guys?
songs that are so relevant to what's going on.
It's like all
I bursted out laughing when you said, it's so late. It was like I just bursted out laughing.
Exactly, like 3 o'clock in the morning. You're like, this is me trying to advertise you guys last night, this event. Like 2 o'clock in the morning, sharing, okay, please come and watch us. I loved it. Congratulations, Natasha. That was amazing. So more people are joining. Guys, show the love. We want to see more likes, more comments. I don't see any likes. Come on, come on. Let's just support these ladies. I see tons of comments actually, and tons of yeah, good comments. A lot of love. You ladies gonna have to go to Actor Slash later on and answer and do some personal love as well. So our last singer, she is Shannon Doe. She just had a sip of water or tea or whatever it is. What are you drinking?
Tea.
Tea.
Black tea with honey and lots of full fat cream.
We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk in a moment about the songs that we just heard and the songs about well, how you take care of your voice, what you drink, what you don't, what should we doing. So Shannon, the screen is yours. So everybody mute yourselves and let's just stop videos.
Playing from Shannon's iPhone.
Playing from Shannon's iPhone. Is the color of my true love's hair. His face so soft and wondrous fair. The purest eyes and the strongest hand. I love the ground on where we stand. I love the ground on where we stand. Black is the color of my true love's hair. Of my true love's hair. Of my true love's That the time will come when he and I will be as one. When he and I will be as one. When he and I will be as one. Black is the color of my true love's hair, of my true love's hair, of my true love's hair.
Woohoo! Oh my God, Sharon! Look at all these comments on social media and it's just amazing. That was beautiful.
Thank you. It was
Like,
it's a very special piece, I think, to a lot of people. I'm curious who's heard of this song. We'll talk about that.
yeah, it's just beautiful. Natasha, come back. So, ladies, what do you think? Wasn't that great? It's just been so pretty.
Thank you. Thank you for listening. Appreciate it.
So now let's go and talk to each of all the songs that you all have sang. Like Shannon, Joanne, you already told us that this was a song that you put together for an audition.
This one was just for the quarantine. Just
For
a
the
beautiful
quarantine.
song to uplift spirits.
That's pretty cool. Tell us a little bit about your career.
Oh, where to begin? Well, I'm a fellow actor slasher, singer, dancer, model, actress, choreographer. I just came back. Well, I guess it's not just this year. It's been weird. In January, singing for Hong Kong Disney for several months, which I've done before. It was beautiful. It was lovely. Hong Kong is great. I do a lot of theater. Not recently. Thank you, pandemic. This year's actually been pretty good to me. I filmed a national commercial for Red Cross where I was singing in it. I've also done 2 movies this year and some modeling work. So not too bad for 2020, considering everything that's going on.
So you've been still working with the pandemic. So I assume they were like doing all the measurements, the COVID measurements.
Yeah, everything was really strict. It's a whole new level. Just you're not allowed to touch anything, like with craft services, or like you order food and it's like completely encased in plastic. There's a little spot where you can order, you can speak, and then at the end you pick up your meal and there's a little spot where they take it out. I felt really safe on set every time. Like they have it covered. They know what's going on.
That's amazing. I'm very happy to hear. Are you a songwriter?
I have co-written several songs. I know where my strengths lie. So my strengths lie in performing and acting and being in front of the camera, and not so much songwriting, but obviously I'm a singer, but I think it's important to know where your talents and your strengths lie. So I've co-written a few songs, and I've written some jingles on my own that were good, but full songs on my own, no.
We're going to talk about jingles in a moment. Okay, so Lena, how about you? Tell us about, you are muted, so we can't hear you. There you go. But tell us about this butterfly, and tell us also about your songwriting. line?
Yeah, so
What's
kind of
it?
like on the other end of what Joy was said, I would think that I'm probably more of a songwriter than performer when it comes to like singing my music and stuff. But that piece just, I really like what I did in terms of the writing part of it. So I just really wanted to share that. So I'm glad I got to do that. And yeah, it just I think it was written at a time when I was just at the cusp of going into a serious relationship. So it's really about that, from that, oh, is this meant to be kind of a vulnerable, but like sort of, yeah, hopeful state that's probably also a little possessive and insecure. So that's what that piece is about. And songwriting is something sort of that just came out of the left field for me. Like a few years back, like my um my roommate got a keyboard, and he was like learning keyboards, and he said something about, oh, I'm taking this class at the community college, and I learned this thing where, oh, you can, if you know the chords, you can write songs. And I'm like, well, I'm Asian. I play the piano, growing up. I know chords. I can write songs. So that's sort of how it got started. I still put my focus on acting, but this is something that it just, I have written a few songs, so I don't quite know what to do with them yet, because it's like I write songs that are vocally too hard for myself. So so I'm still trying to like figure out I'm still trying to like find out like what's the best way to move forward with the music. And acting wise, it's been pretty good. It's weird. I have this film that's been film festivals, sort of all around the country, and then, but it's mostly virtually. I was able to go to one screening in Simi Valley, one screening, and the rest of them has been from my living room. But it's still amazing, and it's still amazing, that things are still going on, and we can still participate, remotely, which is kind of nice too. Instead of trying to drive to all the or fly to different places, I'm right here and I'm participating. So yeah.
What's the name of that film? I've seen it, but you want to tell your audience.
The movie is called Takeout Girl, and we just wrapped up at the Dance with Films Festival in LA, and we got a couple of awards from the Bentonville Festival, and soon will be coming up. I think like maybe later in September or October, there will be more news about the film. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it all the time. I'm like, oh my God, this film, I just can't wait to see it and watch it, because I just keep looking at like award. Now we've been selected for this festival and this other one, and then a couple prizes and awards. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And how about for your voiceover career?
For my voiceover career, it's quite interesting. Like for a long time, I'm like, I have to set up something at home. I have to set up something at home, but I'm like, there's noise, there's that, this and that. So I always just like would just go to a studio space, rent out the time, and now we can't. So I was like, okay, Lena, you gotta just be very willing. So
tell them about the nice email that you sent me about, because you've been invited for Actors Slash before a couple of times, and you did a voiceover with other amazing talented,
so like Vahe invited me to be on this panel. I was like, okay, I barely have a home studio set up right now. I just record somewhere else.
A voiceover.
I did that, and then and I did that, and I had a couple conversations with other voiceover people, and then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do it. So I sacrificed one of my closets. Now it's a dedicated space for my voiceover. It's all padded. It's got a sound blanket. I got a nice big monitor inside. I have an interface, and it's a dedicated space. And then I did like 8 commercials in there. It's crazy. So I'm like, it is so worth it.
I was so happy when you told me. I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. Yeah, you got to have Source Connect, you have your mic, everything.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about mics also in a moment, but I'm very happy to hear. Very happy to hear. And I love your singing, and I love your song.
Thank you.
Natasha, come back.
I'm here.
So tell us about, you told us about this song. It was originally written in Spanish, then you translated into English. Was it also about social media?
Yeah. The song was called Facebook. Uh, and it was like a little bit different. It was like, ya ni duermo, solo hablo con mis panas del colegio. So it was very similar, but it was mainly about the fact that I was looking for a boy and getting together with my friends from high school and you know from my childhood, and it was pretty much what happened when Facebook started.
You connected with other people through.
That you were connecting with other people, but there was a point where I was like, oh, and this person, and then you don't sleep. So that it was the thing that I was like, I'm not sleeping because now I'm connecting with it with all my friends from the past. But that grew, and then you know, years without sleeping turned into this. Now, then you know, social media got normalized, but then more and more social media outlets started showing up, and it's like, okay. And my improv teacher, he heard that the first time that I played that song live when I wrote it in Spanish, I was at a bonfire at the Catskills in New York. We used to retreat in New York City, and we used to just get together and you know sing by the fire when the shows were over. And so he would like play like country music. That was pretty much what he'd do, and we would play the Beatles and whatever. And then everybody would share one or two songs, and I'm like, I just wrote this one, but it's in Spanish, and no one, you know, understood. And it's like, what's that about? So I started like translating as I was going in English. I'm like, everybody's like, you have to write it in English, so I did.
So Natasha, you are an actor slash voiceover talent slash musician, songwriter, composer. When did you start singing?
Oh, probably. I think out of all of them, probably being an actress was the first because I started when I was 9 months old. In terms like I did my first commercial. My family was in advertising. My mom.
I'm a baby. I'm nine months old.
Yeah, but my mom didn't want me to, but she had a friend who was a producer, and he's like, no, she's perfect, so he put me there. So it was that battle. Then I acted in theater with my aunt, but I think that probably I discovered that I had a knack for writing songs when I was 8. I recorded a song that was about a moon and whatever. I recorded it in a little tape recorder, and my mom lost my tape, and I hated her for that. I'm like, no, my tape. But I remember that I wrote like a jazzy song. I went to New York and I saw a chorus line, which was the thing that catalyzed and made me realize that this is what I wanted to do, because, you know, I've been singing and I've been doing theater and stuff, but then I saw that these people actually lived out of doing that it was a job. It was not just a hobby. I'm like, so I want to be an actress. So if you were to ask me what I wanted to do, was like, I want to act and I want to sing and I want to dance. It's like I wanted to be in Broadway. So yeah. And then I started writing at age 14. I had a couple bands. I won in school. Like I won a couple of singing contests. I lost my voice because I didn't have any education, didn't know what I was doing. And then I joined conservatory, blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
So I did formal studies.
What instruments do you play? I mean, we can see a keyboard right there and a couple of guitar, couple of.
I am the most proficient in the guitar. Like I've been playing guitar since I was 8 years old. I started with a quattro, which is something very similar to a ukulele, 4 strings, but it's tuned different to like a fourth above. So that was my first instrument. After the quattro, I was like, I don't know, 6 years old. Then after that was the piano. It was actually the organ. We had an organ at home, but I was not good. Eventually in conservatory, I was able to, I studied like complementary piano. So I'm not a piano player at all, but enough to know the chords and a few, you know, classical tunes and stuff like that, pieces. My teacher hears me, he'll kill me. But I studied classical, so I was hearing you, Shannon. I was like, oh,
I can't wait to hear. Oh my God, isn't she amazing?
yeah. So I'm like, so that was my thing to do, you know, the songbook of the Italian songbook, and like sing the magic flute, and classical pieces that you sing at conservatory. So sometimes that. And then I'm a comedian, and I write as well. So
Stand-up comedian and all that. Speaking of comedian, you want to tell us about a certain show that is nominated for the Grammys,
I mean,
the Emmys. Yeah, Grammys music.
we're all getting nominated here for the Grammys, but that's different.
Okay. the actor/Grammys.
Yes. Well, I play Matilda in Curb Your Enthusiasm, so we just got nominated for an Emmy. Yay! 4 Emmy Awards nominations. We gotta wait, and yeah, I've been lucky this year. Same as with Joanne. It's been a generous year for me. Very stressful because I had to move and and a bunch of things, but at the same time, I've been working. I've been having the luxury of writing a little bit of music. One of the other slash things that I do is like I do collaborate with producers to do jingles. So usually we get either at the pitch with the creatives, or the producer gets the pitch, and then we, with what they have in mind, is like, oh, this is kind of like the commercial that we're trying to do. We choose the shiny words from that, what the client wants to do, and then we write melodies and lyrics, and then the client goes back to the client goes like, I don't like beautiful, but I would like gorgeous. I'm like, okay. So we adapt to the changes, and then the producer makes the programming magic and arrangement magic when it comes to music. I've only done it twice. And to be honest with you, I am super slow. I'm not good with mixing. But I've done it. And I could spend an hour just choosing a drum beat. I'm like, no, I don't like this one. No, I don't like this one. So I was getting
So these jingles, you're composing the music and also singing it? Oh.
Yes. You're like, I don't know. Someone comes and they say, I don't know, say a word. Tell me a word. And it just show you kind of like what
Word.
is the word? Okay. Give me a letter from A to G.
Gorgeous.
A letter from A to G.
Oh, a letter from A to G. Let's say E.
Okay. So this is a word that I'm gonna sing for you. The best word in the world that you can find, I'm gonna sing it for you. And then you start playing. So you gave me E, which is the key that I was going to, and then you gave me the word, and we start exploring. So when we have something catchy, we have a chorus, was like, okay, this, and we only have 30 seconds. So we go through a lot of material. I was like, this is not catchy, this is not good. And then we like pretty much find the hook, and that would be, and that's a commercial.
Wow, that's
cool.
Amazing. Well, we'll come back about jingles because I know Joanne also does said that, right? So Shannon, oh my God, that was beautiful. Tell us about this. You mentioned that you're a songwriter, but you also collaborate with another composers. And tell us about this song.
Yeah.
And
So-
let's go from there.
No, of course, thank you. So you probably can hear I'm a classical singer, I'm an opera singer, but that's not exclusively what I do. Sometimes I feel like I am a slasher within my singing career, that in itself, which is really fun and interesting, jumping from genres and really being authentic. This song though is, if you've ever heard it, Black is the Color. And there's a beautiful version that Nina Simone recorded years ago, and please go listen to it because it is the absolute essence of heart, which actually was why for a while I was a little hesitant to cover it, because I just wanted to give it respect. But the actual origin of this piece, nobody knows who wrote it, and that's my fascination. As a classical artist too, I think a lot of what we do is we interpret music. We interpret the music of composers all the time. So that is a passion, but also a skill that I didn't even realize was part of my education as an opera singer. So when I decided to do this project, it was originally a series of demos, and then it just turned into something that wouldn't leave me alone. And one song became 3 songs, which became 6, which is now 10. So this song I performed today is part of this 10-piece album. And every piece on it is influenced by Celtic. Either it was a Celtic song, or the way that the music is written implies all the different chord progressions and sounds that we associate with Irish music, Scottish, British Isles, this whole region. But I wanted to take this piece and make it my own. And I think that's just what I've learned as a singer, as a performer, is taking my love of interpretation and diving into what the heart of that piece is for me. So this record is partially in Gaelic, it's partially in English, it goes back and forth. Some pieces are extremely intimate and don't sound as heavy operatic as this one, very little vibrato. I wanted a piece of work that spanned the ethereal space, if that makes sense. So it's not something you're gonna put on and like go out to the club, not that anyone's going anywhere right now, but it's that type of music that is cinematic in a way. I mean, I feel it in placement in film and TV. I feel it as a live experience, a live concert that's very intimate. That's also one of my biggest passions, is the art of the recital. And I think as originally I wanted to be an opera singer exclusively. And when I was in New York training, something just kept nattering at me, the desire to study more acting, to be on the stage and singing other music, to be recording, to be writing, to be collaborating. And when I moved to LA, it was that progression, because I knew I was, it's not common, because most opera singers, you stay in your lane. There's so much to do it well. You really can't jump around. But for me now, I think that as a classical singer, especially in the space of collaborating with composers, it means that I get to put my geek hat on and like sight read and be given like, you got 2 takes and that's it. I love that challenge. But also be creative. Like, one of the things I do is specialize in improvising. So if I go in the studio and they say, here's the key, let's go, to me, it becomes a form of channeling. And so what comes out of me, there's no judgment, you just do it. It's often sometimes the most beautiful writing because it's so honest. And so with the record, some of the approaches with the arrangements, I would strip lyrics, certain things that just didn't feel current. And my colleague and I, we would perform the pieces when we were writing arrangements, and he wrote all the orchestration. But I needed to allow certain vocal lines to come out the way I would, to have the intimacy. And my key to that is improvisation. So, which is actually usually something that a jazz musician is really good at. I was envious in school. I would like creep my friends' jazz classes, like their theory and improv class, because I'd be like, we don't get to do this. So yeah, it's been an amazing journey. And this record, I think, is a piece of that expression as a classical singer. But I'm also working on another project right now with my partner, which is a hip hop lo-fi project. So the vocals are nothing like you heard today.
So when is this album coming out?
Because of COVID, of course, there's been delays. I really wanted to release it a while ago. We're saying fall, but it's feeling more like it's going to be on the cusp of fall to winter. So I will release all the info about exact dates very soon.
How do you start singing?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my father's side is extremely musical. I didn't know that about myself though until I was 11. And I grew up in Canada, and I was really privileged to go to a public performing arts school. I didn't know I could sing. I actually got in because of visual arts and dance. I was a little
Are you Canadian or you're
I'm Canadian American, and my family's of
Gotcha.
Irish and French Canadian descent. Yeah, yeah. And I was in a class, and I'll remember the rest of my life. My teacher, her name was Mrs. Carol Strachan, and she was a tough, bright, sweet lady and an amazing educator. And she said it was my turn to sing, and I got up and I sang this little snippet of a French Canadian song, and she looked at me and said, "That is so beautiful. And it was like the first time I felt myself in that way as a creative. I had no consciousness of it in that way. And then my life just opened with this blessing of educators who took me under their wing, taught me how to read music, put me in all of the different choral opportunities, because that's truly like, if you want to learn how to sight read and have musicianship skills, the choral space is really important. And then I started to have my operatic training, which has been a whole journey. And I mean, I always knew I was going to be a singer. There wasn't a plan B, but it's just more how my career has, since that, you know, childhood moment of discovery of song being who I am, moving into the space of how do I do this as a professional? And that really my business is my voice, whether
I
that's
was gonna say, so
voiceover,
singing is your main.
singing and voiceover and hosting and acting. But it's interesting, like I will have themes, like when we were doing the Discover America, Brand USA, Visit the USA, all of that content, that was so central in who I am. I love people. I'm a foodie. I cook. I love to travel. All I want to do is jump on planes, connect with people, write obsessively, research. That was totally who I was and am. But I missed the recording process. And then when that project wraps, then it's like jumping into the studio and then writing and then having voiceover. I think there's just going to be this series of waves of creativity and accepting those hats, opposed to I have to brand myself exclusively.
We also had the opportunity to do the narrations for every
Yeah,
video, the voiceovers, and we have to do it. You see, we're actors slash host models. We were modeling for each other's videos. And we
totally.
had to do the voiceover for each video because they were like 3 minutes, 3 times on screen, and the rest of it was just voice and off. So it was so you're acting. Where's your acting career right now, or is it more focused on your singing and your voiceover?
More focused on my singing, and also, I mean, with COVID, I've been very conservative and stayed in quarantine since the beginning. I mean, I have a pre-existing condition, so for me, there really isn't a negotiation with that. Yeah, so I mean, like we walk the pups and go on hikes and bike rides, and that's it. Like I haven't been anywhere. Although I'm very excited that SAG-AFTRA is obviously like supporting safe filming practices and all that. So I'm excited for the evolution of this. But it's forced me to really focus on voiceover and this record and the other project we're writing, because you have to be in the moment you're in. And right now it's at home for me. So instead of resisting that and feeling frustrated that we're not on stages, we're not auditioning, I miss collaborating and I miss being with my creatives. I miss being in the studio. I used to manage a studio, so my life was being in the studio all the time.
Right.
That's really hard, but it is what it is. You got to be with what's happening. So to me, the translation is acting. I hope I'm here until I'm 100. So there's a lot of time to enjoy that. So right now, focus on the vocal space, because that is something that I feel I can really give my all to.
Oh, it's just beautiful.
Thank you.
And we all were like enjoying so much your voice. So unfortunately, we're running out of time. But before we go, I want each of you, let's start with Joanne again, to tell us what would be the advice for someone who wants to start into singing or performing, live performing, for say. How do you take care of your voice? So it's 3 things. What will be the advice that you will give to anyone, any newcomer? How do you take care of your voice? And where can you be found? Your social medias, your websites.
Amazing. I'll be quick because we are running out of time. My advice to everyone and anyone in life in general is life is very short, so go after your passion. What makes you happy? What speaks to your soul? Something that you do every day of your life should bring you joy. Advice for vocal tips, I would say take some lessons. And right now, you know what you can do? You can type it into Google, go on YouTube, and there are vocal lessons free right there for you. A tip from Joanne, you have to support your voice when you sing, otherwise you can lose your voice and damage your vocal cords. The vocal cords are a muscle and an instrument, and they have to be trained.
How many times do you practice a day, or how do you rehearse?
I like to sing every day because it brings me happiness. It brings me joy. I'll be going around my house singing. I'll be humming. So for me, I also count that as rehearsal. When I'm actually rehearsing for a show, I rehearse every day. So in the show, if I'm doing musical theater and I'm playing the lead, I might have 15 songs. I probably won't sing all 15 songs a day, but I'll work up to that and do chunks every day.
Is there a food or a drink or beverage that
Oh my
you
God.
shouldn't be
All of
drinking
these
or
ladies
eating?
are gonna agree with me. As singers, I'll just say this, we like to drink hot tea. Hot tea with lemon, hot tea with honey. A little secret from your friend Joanne here, if I'm feeling sick, I will go and eat a greasy McDonald's French fry, and I feel like it just coats my cords, and it works for me. So that's a secret. Don't tell anyone. And I'll wrap it up so we can move on to other people. You can find me on social media at Joanne Coleman 2020 on Instagram and Joanne Coleman 100 on Twitter. You can also find my country album on Reverb Nation. I sing country, pop, jazz, musical theater, and soul. So it's good to be versatile.
Good to know. Good to know. I will type it after and put it on the description for everybody to watch, and also will be available in actorslash.com or in YouTube and Instagram. Okay, so Lena, what would be the advice that you will give to anyone who wants to pursue singing, or any jingles of this? What do you do? How do you take care of yourself, and where can you be found?
I say just do it, but obviously, like what Joanne was saying, do take lessons. But I would say just do it, because if you have an inclination to do something, I feel like you must follow it, and maybe you'll get somewhere with it. Maybe it will remain a passion, but like it is part of you, and it's part of your expression, and you gotta just let it out and follow your excitement, and then take care of yourself. I don't always follow that advice, but I'm like, get enough sleep, eat good food, drink plenty of water. I like, when I do voiceover, I always have a little bottle of vocal ease spray. It's made with wild honey or something. And also like those Granny Smith apples. Any apples would do, but like Granny Smith apples, it really helps kind of lubricate that vocal cord. So yeah.
When you say eat healthy, what's healthy for you?
Healthy for me, you know, greasy French fries can really work, right? Like, but I feel like I need to just make sure I'm properly nourished to have energy, to do everything that I want to do. Like, because when we're performing, like we're giving 100%, we don't even realize it. 100%, 150%, and that takes a lot of energy. Oh, and so like making sure I have just as less processed as possible. I tend to want to eat a lot of takeout, so I want to make sure I also get plenty of vegetables. And also I try not to eat too late, because it when I eat too late, it just kind of the reflex, that comes up to the vocal cord. It's just that's then I wake up like this. So and then just really rest, allowing downtime. Like that's something I'm learning. Like the work that we do is so intense, even though it's fun. So sometimes it doesn't feel like work, but then sometimes I want to jump right into something else. But now I'm learning I need some downtime and to just get centered before I can fully, give myself to another project.
And where can you be found? You want to give us your website?
I am on linnaye.com, LYNNAYEE.com, and you can find me on Instagram, on Facebook, I believe, with the same name.
Lena Yi.
Yes.
Are you on Twitter?
I'm not active, so just stick to Instagram and Facebook. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Natasha, what would be the advice that you will give to any newcomer? How do you take care of yourself, and where can you be found?
Okay. Well, how to me, like all my vocal teachers have told me, stay away from mucus forming things like milk,
Dairy.
like dairy, like wheat, and processed foods. Hydrate. Same thing, teas, lemons, honeys, in that sense. Green apples with the peptides that are amazing for the all that. And also things before you're about to do a voiceover or about saying things like nuts, they're good for you, but nuts and chocolates tend to make you click and clack, so you don't want that. What advice? Just do it. And for me, the most important thing is to after doing it, because you just got to do it. And but master, makes perfect, and they say that it takes about 10,000 hours to be good at whatever. So if you don't do it, then it won't work. But education is extremely important. So go to school, find a teacher, find a mentor, emulate your the people you admire. You will eventually find your own style, but imitation at the beginning of your career is part of the formation. So don't be afraid to copy just for the sake of learning. Just don't copy and infringe copyrights. Other than that, well, the other thing that I didn't say, now that I'm sharing my social media. So I am the Natasha Perez in Twitter and Instagram, but again, I'm not that active on Twitter. I just repost everything that comes from Twitter, so you will find that. Mostly active on Facebook, but you will see the song that you heard today is part of like a new material that I'm developing, that it's comedic. So that's an album that is coming. And the thing that I told some friends that I was going to talk about, so I'm going to say like really briefly, I have been fortunate enough to not having released any album to being able to place a bunch of songs in film and television. So being an actor slasher has helped on that. Part of it has been well received, as like M. Night Shyamalan is like, send me your album, when I did Lady in the Water. But like James Lee Brooks, when I did Spanglish, he was like, someone gave me an album, and he wasn't very, so I'm not endorsing it, but I'm saying that approach your music supervisor. If you're an actor slasher, find out who the music supervisor is and say, it's like, hey, I'm working on this, maybe you will find it useful for this project or not. So that's one thing that even you, Lynn and I were talking about, is like, I want to know where to take it. Like if you're an actor, take advantage of that, because there's action in there.
And how about website? In your website, can they find your music, or where can your music be found? Your work in general.
Because that's the $1 million question. Because I've been putting an album. I have never released like not even in band sound band. Those websites, SoundCloud. Me and my 80 years old, I don't remember the names. You can find my music. You can find samples of my music that has been published in different TV shows and films on my website in the area of music and media. But you cannot find me on Spotify or anything, because I've been like, okay, since I'm selling it out there, I don't want to share it until it's in an album. And I haven't put an album together because I've been, I'm in a show on Netflix right now, and I've been busy doing films and stuff. So, like, I need an assistant soon. So it will be out there soon. But for now, natashaperez.com to hear more news. You can find a lot of my commercials on YouTube. Actually, on my YouTube page, I'm linking. I have a playlist of a bunch of the commercials, not the voiceover ones, but the jingle ones, that you can find them in the playlist on YouTube.
Excellent. Thank you so much. So, Shannon, you're muted. What would be the advice that you will give to people who's pursuing singing or voice, and how do you take care of your voice and your career?
Of course.
What can you become?
For me, I think the simplest way to describe it is the metaphor of an athlete and the mind-body connection. So a lot of my work is the wellness of my body, but it's really about listening to what it's saying. So like I have this distinct memory of being in New York, going to my coach's for a lesson, having a cold, feeling really wretched. And I came in the studio, and he had a Broaden with a French, like beautiful, very strong espresso, and then some raw honey and some warmed milk, real organic milk. And he was like, this is pure ambrosia, I'm telling you. And that for me in the worst moments just cuts through it. So, you know, you have to listen to your body. If you're lactose intolerant, don't do that. But for me, it's like, it's what works. Tea, fluids, I work out. I have asthma. I have to work on my cardio for me to sustain these long phrases that feel euphoric and effortless. The other piece of that is the visualization. So one of the things I learned when I was first studying bel canto is when you're on a plane and you have your score with you, run it like a marathon. Hear it in my mind, sing everything. That way I've already rehearsed and my body and my brain are connected to that process. That's actually part of my warming up, because what I've taught my students and what I've learned from my mentors is if you can't hear it, I don't even want to sing it. Don't sing it. If it's not here and here, it's not ready. So the piece of like, if I'm warming up and let's say I have 5 minutes, where you are is not ideal. There's people everywhere. I know how to drop into my body so I feel it's really happening and do the visualization, some really quiet lip trills, and let's go. Because you don't always get to be a diva. It's nice when you get to be a diva. You have a dressing room and you can have an hour to warm up and be fabulous, but you need to be ready to go now. And half of that is your mental preparation. Yeah, so working out, fluids, get good rest. And when circumstances are not ideal, you still do your job. That's my advice.
How about where can you be found?
Yeah, my website is shannondoe.com. My nickname is Doe. A lot of folks only call me Doe, which is really cute. And a lot of folks only call me Shannon. There you can see all of my music, film and TV music. You can see commercial work I've done, hosting, voiceover. My Instagram and Facebook is Shannon Doe Music. And I will be definitely releasing all the information about the project, which is called Dreams Awake, on there. But yeah, it'll be on Spotify and iTunes and all that once it's released.
Well, thank you so much, guys. We have to go now because we're going beyond time, and I'm not going to be able to edit it and put it on Instagram because Instagram only allows less than 58 minutes. But thank you so much for everyone who connected to join us. I am Vanhe Tapia. You can find me on vanhetapia.com, as you can read right there a little bit, or Vanhe Tapia, all my social media, and also actor slash. Remember, actor slash has 2-letter S in the middle. So follow these ladies. You already got their accounts. I will type them again, and follow actor slash. And again, thank you so much. You girls are awesome. You're an inspiration, and I'm very honored and happy that you were here.
Thank you,
so much.
ladies.
Thank you so
All
much.
right. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
You take care.
Bye. Thank you, Vanhe. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.